I just drove up on the back end of a mating flight. Been sitting in the truck watching them for a couple of minutes. They're starting to calm down a little bit. The difference when you're looking at a mating flight, the difference in this and a swarm is when they jump off the box to swarm, they don't hang around checking the box out like this. They get up in the air. Mating flight, you sit and watch them, they bust out like, looks like they're swarming, and then they kind of linger. After a little bit, they'll start going back in the box.
This is Akiva, welcoming you back to the 628 Dirt Rooster channel, where hobby beekeeping is a way of life. And this is one big hobby.
Had some viewers, subscribers stop by this morning for a few minutes to visit. We had a real nice visit. Got to do a little beekeeping. Shoot that little intro you just saw. And now I'm gonna go through some boxes to make sure they're queen right. As I go through these, there is a possibility there's a virgin queen in some of these. I don't want to fool around too much if there's a virgin queen in them, but I want to see that there's a queen or that there's a laying. If I see evidence of laying, I don't really care if I see the queen or not. I'll just go on to the next one. Okay, I didn't see a queen in that box, so I'm pulling from some banked queens. I'll pull a queen out and add her. This is a row of mated queens. This is a mated queen with some nurses in there with her and a candy plug, and I'll place it in this position. This double stack here has a mated queen. You can see the eggs and larvae up in this area. So that's it, it's ready to split. I'm not going to go through them any further. I know there's a mated queen in there. All I'm doing is checking for queen right boxes today. I'm not doing any splits. So right now, that box is good. This box here is probably a little different than most of you have seen in the past. This is a 10 frame deep with a follower board in it, is what this is called. That board right there, stuck in there with propolis, but this is 2 colonies in one box. Separate entrance, totally divided off from each other. But we got a good laying queen in this side. Now I got to check this side. don't see any evidence of a queen in this side. This is a frame of brood that was put in there with a queen cell. I'm looking close to see if I see a virgin queen anywhere, but I don't see anything. So I'm gonna add a mated queen to this side. Okay, I'm still in that double nuke with the follower board. Here's the, this is the queen right side. Got a drone emerging here. We've got some workers emerging up here. That's what's going on right here. It's a new baby bee coming out, chewing her way out. All this little patch will start emerging pretty soon. But what we got right here is a queen cell with a mature queen that was ready to come out, and the queen that is in there killed her. So this is a let me see if I can pick her out without causing any damage to her. She's dead already. They've already dispatched her. What they do is the new queen will get to her before she emerges. Workers will help her chew out the side of the cell, and the new queen will kill her, sting her. Just about mature, unemerged queen. Okay, I'm on this double stack. I pulled the top box, there wasn't anything in it. Hive is currently queenless, but not for long. She's not working her way out yet, but it won't be long. These girls here have a queen pretty soon. This hive would be busting off real quick. That was it for my time in the yard today. It was a quick run through of 7 boxes. Now I gotta go do a cutout. Well, I had me a good little nap. I'm going to a cutout, which reminds me I forgot to bring anything to stand on. I can almost reach it from the ground, but I need a little boost. I think this is going to be a fairly simple removal, but I'm going to have to make a trip back to the house to grab some insulation I forgot. You know, it's funny, as soon as I get out to go show you what we got here, the guy next door fires up a lawnmower. So I might be talking over a lawnmower. I don't know, it's not too bad over here. A lot of activity coming in right here in the corner. And I hit it with a flare yesterday. Looks like it might be back to about here. Nobody knows how long they've been there. Mr. Ed topped me again. We had a family that watches our channels stop by and see us today. They stopped by my place first, We shot a video entry together, bottled honey, sang songs, you know, the whole nine. I call him, tell him, follow that up, sucker. He calls me a few minutes ago, let me know that he took them on a swarm capture and shot a whole video with them. Good size, filling one joist space. I'm not sure, I haven't looked at that roof line yet. I hope it doesn't go back up in there. I think I got about 2 hours of light left. All right, boards out of the way. We get a little better look. This hive has been here since last summer or longer. Last summer at least, but they've swarmed recently. See all those open queen cells? So this is what's left after a swarm. They've already swarmed this spring. All that white is brand new comb, and all this dark is old. And when I pulled the vinyl soffit down, there was evidence of wax moth in there. So probably this hive is a lot older than that, but it died out at one point. Wax moths came in and ate it up, and then probably into last year, middle or summer last year, this hive found it, cleaned it up, made it home, and they're fixing to find a new home now. I want to start at the back to work them out towards the outside of the framing, out towards the fascia. Can't hardly see up in there. Some good comb. There's some good honey too. Yeah, this comb was good. It's not brittle. It's good and tough. Fresh comb. Got quite a bit of honey in here, it looks like. This is kind of the tough part. Right here is working overhead, with all this honey dripping down on you, dripping on your tools and in your face and everything. Makes things a little more difficult. I'm not able to get the combs all the way to the plywood up there, so I'm having to break them off, and as I work I'll get the remaining top pieces. Yeah. There's a stinger right there because I put my thumb on top of one. That's some good honey. I already tasted it, of course, y'all know that. Really good flavor. This stuff is in a really clean spot, and it will be strained and kept. They're not acting up yet, but they're piling up back here on these pieces of comb that I broke off. Trying to get that honey. I'm just running them off of it so I can grab it without grabbing a big handful of bees. This will run them all forward, and won't be too much longer. I'll have to start vacuuming to get the numbers down because there's a big cluster hanging back there. Look at that beautiful, beautiful capped honey. And I'm talking about this stuff is really good. All that honey I'm pulling out will go in a clean food grade bucket, kept separate from any other comb I pull out. I reached around the back of those fat pieces and cut them out with my 5-in-1 tool. There they are. I didn't think there'd be much, if any, honey in this one, but tell you what, everything I cut out so far has been honey. There's probably a gallon of honey in there already, and that next comb looks like it's all honey too. So I'm getting messy, getting sticky. I'll be sitting on towels on the way home because I got honey all over my shirt, down my arms, all on my shoes. Alright, sunset, street lights are coming on. Am I done? Nope. I'm about 3/4 of the way there. It's probably actually 2/3 of the hive, but I'm saying 3/4 because the hard part's done. I got all the honey out. I think the rest of this is going to be brood comb. Please be brood comb, because I've been dealing with dripping honey for the entire thing, but it didn't start till kind of late. Got a lot of rot damage up in there where it's been leaking, but I'll finish getting this out tonight. I'm probably not going to put the soffit back in tonight. I'll come back in the morning and do that. This is only about 5 or 6 miles from home, so it's not that big a deal. But I got to stuff all this with insulation. I didn't bring any insulation with me. I'm gonna get busy pulling the rest of this. I'll be finishing up in the dark, and I'll give you a little report when I get done. There's the first brood comb. Three or 4 combs from the end. I don't see any eggs or larvae yet, other than just old capped brood and a old queen cell. I still got 2 more combs to go. I started catching brood on the 4th comb from the end. There's closed brood. There is no laying in there just yet. I'm assuming there's either a virgin queen or a newly mated queen that hadn't started laying yet. But I put out a video last year entitled, "Why don't you just poison the bees?" And it was posed as a question. A lot of people didn't seem to get that. I'm going to show you real quick why you don't want to poison the bees and leave a hive in place. Look what comes out from what you left behind. This kind of stuff you deal with if you poison a hive, or if you kill a hive and you leave the colony, or if you leave the combs and everything in the space. You bring out roaches and mice and wax moths and every other sort of creature that can make their way up in there, and then you got to deal with that. So just a quick glimpse of These big old tree roaches out getting honey. This is no reflection on how they keep their house. It has nothing to do with that. These things are just plentiful around here, and they need to eat too. Hive's out. Only thing left is roaches. Roaches and more roaches. There's my basket. There's probably a good 5 pounds, 4 to 5 pounds in there. Good little bunch of bees. I'm wrapping up leaving now. 9:06 p.m. Makes 4.5 hours on the job, and I still got to go home and set them up. So probably 5 hours, not including drive time. And heck, I don't know how many stings. Probably 15 stings maybe. The hive was very docile. All the stings were totally my fault. Every one of them's from them being in my armpits or somewhere and me leaning on them, crushing them. There's my forearm, and same thing at my bicep. A lot of them on the small of my back and on my belly. I had 2 shirts on. The inside shirt was tucked in, but when they get inside the outside shirt and I go bend over and it pulls my shirt tight, then whatever's inside my shirt stings me. So nothing in the face. I didn't wear any protection other than a hat, and I wore glasses to begin with, but I had to take them off as it got dark. So very easy to work with hive. Like I say, every sting I got was my fault from leaning on them or grabbing them or whatever. So a little itchy in the belly where they got me a few times, and I'm going home, set them up in a box, and now it'll be a good little colony. I never did find a queen, never did find any evidence of laying, so there was a virgin queen or no queen, or a freshly mated queen that had not started laying yet. Hive was just packed with drones, so good chance that there was a virgin queen in there not mated yet. Obviously had been at least a couple of queens emerged, and you know, like this, 4.5 hours, more than half of it in the dark. I don't even look for the queen. I just vacuum, and it was in a hard spot to see anyway. So working straight overhead, honey running down all over me. I had to change shirts. I'm sitting on a towel, and so I'll probably try to introduce a queen to them. I might give them a week or so and see if a queen starts laying. If not, I'll put another queen in there.
While we're sweating.
While we're sweating it out. My underwear is squishy.
Mine too.